Welcome to MLS Round Table presented by Target. I am Andrew Wiebe, and this is part 2 of our 2017 Major League Soccer Season in Review, in which we celebrate the best players in Major League Soccer in 2017. And I am surrounded by award winners: Julian Gressel of Atlanta United, Ike Opara of Sporting Kansas City, the MVP, Diego Valeri of the Portland Timbers, TIm Melia, the goalkeeper of the year with Sporting KC, and Dax McCarty, who we love and will find a way to get you an award at some point during this show, guys. Let's dive right in, and let's start with the man to my left, Diego Valeri, the MVP. Before I get these guys' thoughts, Diego, 21 goals this year, an incredible season, just the second 20-10 season in MLS history. What made it so good for you?
I don't want to talk about me. It's okay if I have to. It was a great season. I mean, I really enjoyed it from the start to the end. Obviously, it didn't end as a team as I won, but we got a good season, and obviously with that record that I obviously didn't expect before the season starts. I mean, I'm happy about that, and obviously in this way, individually helping the team to get the first part of the West Conference. 9
games with a goal straight?
Yeah,
that was incredible. I mean, you were red hot, man. What was going on? Everything you touched?
I don't know. And some headers too, so I don't know what happened.
I think what made your award even more impressive was the fact that you did that with a ton of injuries on your team. You know, you didn't have that supporting cast all the time, and you were able to raise your level and kind of carry that team a little bit. So
put the team on your back, though, man.
I remember being in the locker room and like, oh, Portland's spotted a goal this week because Diego's going to score again. Honestly, it was like, you got to score 2 because Diego's going to score a goal this week.
MVP season for Diego Valeri. Congratulations on that one. We've seen that from you for many years now. We had not seen Nemanja Nikolic. Dax, he comes in, he wins the Golden Boot with 24 goals. That's his 3rd Golden Boot in 3 straight years. Hungary, Poland, now MLS. From day one, did you know this guy had goals in him?
I did, but I mean, obviously you can never know how well a guy that comes in from different leagues is going to do until he actually comes in. And you know, the most impressive thing about Nico, other than just the goal scoring, is just the hunger and the mentality, because the guy never misses a training session. He never misses a game, and he actually even told his national team that he didn't want to go away for some friendlies so he could stay and continue to work on his game with the fire, continue to get to know his teammates. So I think for me, he's a great person in the locker room. And then obviously the goal scoring, I mean, he made us tick. And what I mean by that is he's a guy that always found spaces in the box. He reminded me a lot of Wando, actually, in the fact that usually in the box, he's very hard to track, and he's going to score everything that he touches. So it was a fantastic season for him, and we're all really proud of him.
I saw Joseph Martinez in person a number of times this year. I sat behind the goal in Atlanta and watched him score a couple on Orlando, and it's the same sort of run. You know when he's about to take off when you're watching. As a center back, it's hard to deal with him. You saw him every day in training, in games. Almiron, Villalba, Assad, Atlanta United, these newcomers from South America. Julian, incredible. What was it like playing with them?
Yeah, they're good guys. You know, they're very excited and exciting to watch, and they just want to be good players on the field. You know, they want to score goals like Josef is, but most of all, like, they want to win, and I think that's what really is their mentality. You know, they want to be winners. That we get that from Tata every day. But those guys, yeah, like Josef, for example, he scores a hat trick, we tie the game 3-3, and he's mad after the game, like really mad.
They're electric, man. Honestly, you play against a team like that, and you think, how are we going to stop them? Because not only are they extremely young, fast, and technical, but the movement that they have, the movements that you guys as a team were able to conjure up, especially at home. I mean, it's really hard to defend.
David Villa is one of your favorite players. I know this. Both of you back and forth on social media, giving each other daps. Almost 20-10, second to you in Landon Donovan MVP voting, Diego. This guy, once again, age doesn't matter. He just scores goals. He's just productive. He's impossible to defend.
I just admire him. It's crazy. He's 37 years old, and he keeps improving and being so important for the team, for the league, and just when you watch him play, I mean, it's unbelievable. In the way he moves, in the way he's very smart, he has everything.
The most impressive thing about him for me is not just the attacking side of the ball. Like, as a defensive midfielder, when you play against NYCFC, I mean, he's literally running and trying to, defend for his team the entire game, 90 minutes, and you don't see him be lazy. He's not a guy that's lazy. He's not a guy that's going to camp out and try to, wait for his team to win the ball back and then just go score goals. I mean, he's a guy that's helping them defend, press for 90 minutes, and that's one of the most impressive things about him is his mentality, his character, the way he can score goals. I mean, it's unbelievable.
He just turned 36 in December. In case anybody was counting out there, Sebastian Giovinco, he puts it in anytime you put it down on a dead ball. 14 free kick goals in MLS. I mean, if you're looking across the world over that period of time, he seems nearly automatic. Diego, you're a guy who's put some in off the dead ball, but I have to imagine when you watch his craft, you just are looking for anything you can steal.
No, but it's crazy. I mean, and it's third season, right? And he keeps improving and been so important, and obviously in the free kicks, that quick release, with a couple steps, it's unbelievable, and it's really, really hard. I think around the world you won't find a guy like that do that, and I think it's great, and I really enjoy to watch him.
Julian, you saw this up close, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was actually a pretty funny story about that goal that he scored, the last goal in the regular season. We were arguing about the situation where the ball was going to be because he kind of moved it a little more inside. So some of our guys went up there and were like, "Oh no, this ball should be over here." And he actually said to the ref or to our guys that it doesn't really matter where you put the ball. I'm going to put it in the back of the net.
It's just impressive how he gets the ball up and down so quick. You've seen a ton of free kicks where the players get it up and it usually just keeps going up somewhere in the stands, but he gets that ball up and then it just drops down very quick. It's almost like the bottom falls out below it.
With pace.
Yeah, he's a magician, absolutely. His teammate this year, Victor Vazquez, is a magician from open play. 16 assists, best 11. Dax, they signed him with TIm. What? That's incredible to get a player of that quality with TIm.
Ridiculous. And I mean, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like he was like the player of the year in Belgium one of the years he played there. And to be able to sign a player like that, and him not be a DP, that shows you the strength, I think, of Toronto's front office. And I think it shows the strength of their willingness to go out and get players to complement the guys that they already had. And what can you say about him? I mean, he's one of the best attacking midfielders in the league. His vision and his ability to put the ball on a dime for his teammates is truly unbelievable. I mean, he had an unbelievable assist against us where it almost seemed like he just floated the ball up and he hit his own player right in the head, and it was a goal. So the guy has a ton of ability, a ton of vision, and he's had a fantastic season.
Yeah, actually, when I first played against him, I mean, I was directly matched up with him. He made life really difficult. He makes life difficult for center midfielders, that try to cover him because he kind of just roams around. Sometimes even comes out all the way to the touchline, he left, right. And I think, the team allows him to do that. Greg Vanney sets the team up so he can do that and find those dangerous spots to get Giovinco and Altidore in those goal-scoring opportunities. And I think a big piece for that is Michael Bradley behind him, who kind of just sits there and holds his spot, kind of covers him, But yeah, he's a great player, that wants to find those dangerous spaces and then deliver the final product as well.
Victor Vazquez taking Toronto FC to another level. TIm Melia, sitting to my right here, taking Sporting Kansas City to another level, along with Ike Opara, the two defensive winners this year and of individual awards. I'm not going to ask you to heap praise on yourself here, Tim. I'm going to go to Ike for that. He's behind you. You're thinking, what? Everything's good. Bring him in, man. Tim's going to save me.
It's unbelievable to watch, and every day he comes to train, he brings it. And it's no days off with Tim. I think the league knows that you can pull off the magical save now, and if they don't, then they haven't been watching clearly. But just his work ethic, just with practice and developing with your feet and just kind of what you've been asked to do with us moving forward has just been I don't think you had to do that in your other clubs in your past, and showing your range from making the saves to using your feet to all the above, communication and being our last line if things break down to bail us out. So I'm grateful for him. He makes us look good. So
I think with Fry, they're the best goalkeepers in the league. And he looks so mature. I know he is more experienced, and obviously that helped him to be what he is doing now. He's been now. So I think if it's perfect in Kansas, and he got me in that PK. I just asked him why, and he his reaction is just amazing.
I'll let you chime in on Zach Steffen here, Tim. We don't want to have you toot your own horns too much, but there's a young goalkeeper in the Eastern Conference who really showed in the playoffs what he's all about. What did you see from him in his progression this year?
Just his confidence. You know, he's coming in, he was competing for that #1 spot, took control of it after preseason, and then to start the season, you know, they had some ups and downs, there were some mistakes there, but he's just improved leaps and bounds from the beginning of the year.
Julian, you were, victim might be a little bit strong here, but Atlanta United tested this man in the knockout round, and you just couldn't find a way past him. What were you thinking during that game?
There were so many times where I was pretty frustrated as a player, you know. I mean, we had so many chances that, you know, sometimes on a different day we score 6-7 goals, but I think he stood on his head that game and couldn't get anything past him that day. Fortunately, he saved my penalty as well, and kind of lost. But yeah, I mean, no, he's a great goalie that has a bright future ahead of him, and yeah, I'm excited to keep watching him.
We have really harped on the penalty misses in this show. I'm sorry, guys. My apologies. We've praised a lot of the guys at the top of the heap. Let's talk about some that we haven't got to thus far. And Dax, I'm going to start with you. Who's one player that we haven't talked about yet on this panel here that stood out to you in 2017?
Yeah, I'm watching a team in the East, you know, a team like Philly, and they didn't have a great season, but I look at a guy like CJ Sapong, and a guy who, you know, he was in Sporting Kansas City, and he played more as a winger, right? And sometimes he played as a striker, and, you know, he always scored in between 6, 8, 9 goals, but he never really broke that double-digit playing, and I think this year he was the focal point of everything Philly did and everything that they did well. So his finishing ability, his hold-up play, obviously we saw, you know, he got a chance with the national team recently, and I thought he played very well. So he's a big physical presence, similar to Josie, but, you know, they bring different things to the table, and I think CJ had a fantastic year for Philly, even in a down year. They didn't make the playoffs, but he's still pretty young. I think he's only going to continue to get better.
Diego, who's a guy for you that didn't get the attention so far that should have?
There's a lot of players, but I think Christian Roldan. It was so important for Seattle, so important for them in the middle, you know, creating that balance and being so helpful in the attack, in defense, you know, covering a lot of spaces and very good with the ball, scoring some goals, and for me it's a huge point of the strength of Seattle.
Took a big step forward this year, a young player with a bright future, maybe even a national team future. Julian, I'll end it with you before we go. Who's the guy that stood out to you that we didn't talk about?
I have the award for Mr. McCarty over there. I think it's the Unsung Hero Award. I think, no, it's he, you know, after that kind of trade, I think he's done a tremendous job of kind of accepting that and coming into a team that hasn't been so great the last few years and kind of changing the whole mentality, you know. I think he was a big piece, not just on the field, but in the locker room and stuff. And I mean, you can really tell that, you know, he's been kind of that unsung hero for Chicago and kind of propelled them to the playoffs and kind of changed their whole culture there.
I'll pay you after we stop.
Perennial underrated. Right there. Perennial best 11 underrated.
I'll take you guys out for sure. No problem.
Yeah.
You guys want to go Tao, Steakhouse?
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm in with this, right? I'm going to throw one out there. Albert Elise, look, he brought some flavor to this league that I don't think we get a lot with the goal celebrations. But big thanks to you guys for sharing your expertise, your opinions here in part 2 of our MLS Round Table, presented by Target, 2017 MLS Season in Review. That's it for this one. We're moving on to part 3, but make sure to check out part 1 when we break down the top stories in the league in 2017. Thank you for watching, everybody.